I should warn ya, you're in close corner. I should warn ya, you're in close corner. Start. All right, y'all. So welcome to Glo's Corner. This is part B. What's a dollar to you? And I wanted to make sure that I extended this conversation to some deep thinking minds, to some people who have some experience with the aspects of the things that we were discussing relative to juggling, finances, spirituality, and ethics. So this is what this conversation is about. I want to just first welcome my guests who are here with me. I got Chuck and Lenisha over here giving us the mysterious vibes over here, looking like the superheroes that they are. And we're gonna tell you all about their endeavors too at the end. And then I got my boy at the bottom over here, Louis, representing Louisiana Lou.
Louisiana.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Entrepreneurial and spiritual endeavors on lock. I'm Glo Shines. We already started this conversation and we're just continuing to build and expand on it. So the idea in the conversation first started with, I did a verse and I was like, Superman's no liar, but Clark Kent is, because Clark Kent wears corporate attire. Clark Kent is like lying about how dope he is to go to work and to blend in and to work that 9 to 5. And he's hiding the fact that he's Superman. And it sort of was tying into the fact of that expectation that we were having about, I'm saying we, I know we weren't having it, but about getting these superpowers on the 21st, and they didn't come. And it was like, well, what happened? Well, that was my point. It was like these superpowers that we were expecting, they've been here the whole time. So the thought was that we're in the age of Aquarius. Either we're in it, approaching it, or, have been in it already based on whatever calendar that you're using. Mm-hmm. And during this age of Aquarius, our need for finances and resources and those things, it may still be there, but the way we go about it and are willing to go about it has to change or is changing. Is that something that you all agree with or can build on in some way?
I mean, I would say so. Coming from the platform of the Bible Belt, let's deal with that. That indoctrination. It's looked at through jaded eyes, and most spiritual systems. If you pursue money, you're almost looked at in some spiritual systems as if you're not truly spiritual. You know what I mean? And, Uncle Tom, house nigga, field nigga, you know what I'm saying? We go through a lot. And I think that if we're going to entertain the Bible Belt aspect or the Bible Belt approach, when it says in scriptures, it says there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth passed away. Well, you got to remember that scripture has been floating around in our Akashic, in our grapevine, in our pulpits, whether it's understood or just sounds poetically nice. It still becomes a reality that's projected by the collective consciousness. And so if we're going to look at that scripture, then we're looking at Revelations. And if we're looking at Revelations, then we're looking at the word reveal. You know what I'm saying? There's many aspects that we could touch bases on, but to stay kind of focused and finite about it, there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth passed away. Well, they've been telling you, it's no surprise that fiat currency is dead and they're moving into digital currency. You know what I'm saying? For those that aren't able to recognize the old world that's fallen, they told you, they said there'll be a new world order. And for some reason or another, we can't seem to bring the two together to identify that they've been telling you the first earth had passed away and this is the new heaven and the new earth. So I think that if we all walk around, call each other kings and queens, gods, goddesses, all of us were still carrying fiat currency around. You know what I'm saying? We didn't come up with our own currency. You know what I mean? And so when we chase their American dream, in order to fit into their dream, you're gonna have to walk their criteria. You know what I'm saying? Sit in their interviews. They're gonna have to question you. You know what I'm saying? And that questioning is interrogation to make sure that you fit into their arena. You know what I'm saying? So for those of us who are moving spiritually, you know what I'm saying? I think that it's high time for us to address how we feel about, you know, what we give our dollar to. Because we gave our dollar to the same people that put us in this situation. You know what I'm saying? We've been digging our own grave, so to speak. That's my offering so far.
Got anything for us, Lou?
Yeah, I like to follow up on that. That's a great point the brother brought up. But I also want to mention that this topic, this discussion is perfect for the times that we're in. As you mentioned, Aquarius, you know, and I like to view Aquarius as, you know, a new understanding within the old, you know, that new water being poured into the old water, you know. And I think that's something to understand. The brother also mentioned the scriptures, and he mentioned a good point about
Brother Chuck.
Brother Chuck. Brother Chuck, yeah, he had a good point about basically how we can misunderstand scripture based on our, you know, our perception, you know, or the interpretations that we have. We can either choose to look at it on a physical level or a spiritual level. And I feel that that compares to the way people are viewing the Great Conjunction, you know, at this moment, you know. And so, yes, this topic is great for the times we're in. You know, we can either choose to look at it on a more physical level, or, you know, choose to look at it on a spiritual level. So yeah,
I think that also choosing to look at it on both levels is very important. A lot of people miss that balancement is vital. So during this time, you know, you have the people that, you know, we like to say running for toilet paper, or you know, they just is really fearful. So they really give energy to fear. And a lot of times fear comes from what they are experiencing physically. So they're not really relating to the spiritual. They're not really thinking about the spiritual. The physical got them so caught up that they ain't giving no energy to the spiritual. Mm-hmm. So when you do have that balancement of, I'm here physically, you know, I see what's going on, but that doesn't mean that I have to, you know, partake in the things on how somebody else do things. You know, I can do it my own way. That's when the spiritual comes in. So, of course, thought manifests many things. So if you're not really balanced and you're not really bringing that thought realm forward, then you're going to fall victim to the things that's happening right now, you know. And Aquarius is a new, so you're bringing new things, different things, you know, new ways of new things coming about, you know. And if people don't get spiritual or have a spiritual foundation, I'm not saying religion, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about spiritually, because we all came from, you know, we're all spiritual beings having a physical experience. You understand what I'm saying? Then that's where the people get lost at. That's where they lose control. It's really thought, you know, and that's manifesting illness, that's manifesting greatness, that's manifesting currency. It's all of that. Mm-hmm. So I think the balancement is what's important, you know, whether it's your home, whether it's your money, whether it's your family, whether it's you know what I mean? You got to have that balancement.
Okay. You brought up a few good points. And I see you got a point, Lou, but I'm see if you can intertwine it with this idea of the energy of fear, you know, because even that's what I was talking about a little bit. Was the reason that I did the video was because a family member of mine was getting into stocks, and they was like, yo, buy this stock. And I was like, okay, word. And then they sent it to me, and I realized that it was like a drone. And I was like, oh. I was like, so do you ever check with the ethics of the companies that you deal with, that you're buying stock with, that you're supporting? You know, do you consider that when you're buying stock, or are you just looking at what's going to make money? And he's like, you know, you got to lead the emotion out of it. You got to get the money, get the payment, da, 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 da. So this is when the energy of fear came in, because this is this fear on his behalf, because it's like, I need to get this money because I have a household to support. I can't
don't even matter what it is. I'm gonna just get this money. Right.
I can't be concerned with the drones or whatever's involved with that. And to me, just bringing the energy of fear at the age of Aquarius is like, we can't. First of all, we can't move with that same physical base fear. Like you said, it has to be a spiritual minded movement that we're having. And second of all, it's like, even though we can still get money and find our financial security, we just can't move and do it the same way that they did it, or that was done in the past, when it was all a physical existence, or existence based on physicality, or by any means necessary.
I want to add to that real quick. So yes, and I think it's important to research what you're investing in. No, you know, we all got to make money, but it's the same. You know, you need to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? What is it? What type of solution is it solving? You know what I mean? I learned this we both learned this in crypto. You know what I mean? You want to know where you putting your money at, because it's volatile. So because it's volatile, I need to know everything I need to know about where I'm investing or where I'm putting my currency in. So that's a great point that you brought up, you know, like, where is that going?
Yeah, and I feel that, you know, you mentioned fear. Fear is something that has a lot of us in captivity right now. You know, especially with losing, you know, our jobs through the virus that's going on. You know, the virus alone has people in fear.
Right.
You know, but I feel that I remember we mentioned before that fear lacks confidence, and confidence is God. You know, if we understand or have a better understanding of spirituality, then we wouldn't be fearful.
Yeah.
You know, the sister made a connection between the physical and the spiritual, and how, you know, we shouldn't choose one over the other, you know, and how they are one. And I feel that is highly important. We mentioned thoughts as well, and I feel in bringing all of that into one understanding, I like to look at the term psychology. You know, we're told that is the study of the mind, but you know, it's a Greek origin that means the soul or the spirit. You know, so now that we can begin to understand what psychology or spirituality and, you know, anything that is physical, we can use psychology as a middle ground in order to have a better understanding of the two. You see, and she mentioned with thought, how, you know, with our thoughts we can manifest. Well, if our mind or brain is our soul, then now we can manifest in the spirit. You know, walk in the spirit and manifest. So.
And that's, again, we're in a good place. I appreciate the progression of the conversation. You know, we have to, you know, break it down to its very last compound and get down with etymology. You know, money is connected to manna. Manna in scriptures, they talk about manna from heaven, but manna in regards to moon, and moon connected to month connected to menses connected to menstruate, the full moon, the period from the new moon to the full moon. Money represents what you do with your plans. You go into the astral plane, plane, to create a plan. You come out of that mental plane with that plan. You bring it down into the planet, into the planet, and you plant, you plant it into the physical plane. That's alchemy. They knew what they were doing when they put money in the middle of our emotions. E equals MC square, or emotions, energy and motion. So look how a bill can get sent to your doorstep You open it and it changed your whole day,
Mm-hmm.
because they got us chasing their American dream under their fiat currency, under their monopoly, moon money, that's connected to our emotions, because we get energized, we get excited about the plans that we have. So when somebody comes and tells you that your business that you've been providing your family, you know what I'm saying, sustenance with, is non-essential, just come and tell you out of nowhere that you're non-essential, then your emotions get involved with it. We don't understand that there has been a silent God that has been operating in the temples, in the synagogues, you know what I'm saying, in the churches. That dollar bill has been passing through the collection plate the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And so we've been worshiping that, you know what I'm saying? And that God has let a culture down. You know what I'm saying? This God had very specific instructions. You know what I mean? Pay your bills, sign your name on the dotted line, follow through with what you signed to. We didn't pay attention to it. We didn't know that it was really going to be a God to contend with. And now it's a God to contend with. And we're feeling the wrath of investing in that God, in that American dream. You know what I'm saying? They attached it to our emotions on purpose so they could just snatch it up from up under you. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with a whole lot of elements here. They know what they were doing.
What I want to pick is about the actual physical money. Because ultimately the dollar is a talisman, right? You know, is this thing that we just look at and feel like this is worth something because I said it and now I can get something from it.
It's a promissory note.
But ultimately, what we want is the thing that we can get. You know what I'm saying? Not the money. It's about the resources.
Money, but we
it's
want
about
what the money can
exchange from. Exactly. So when you was talking about the thought, and even Chuck, you was talking about the astral plane, and this is coming from, you know, a conversation that me and Lou had as far as like, we want the resources, you know, and we are powerful manifestors. It's clear, you know, you all know that. We all know that for our own reasons that we don't have to go into, but we are powerful manifestors. So it's just like, we know that we can have these things that we need probably without the money in a lot of ways. You know, we can bypass the need for that talisman and just get the thing because we just want the stuff.
It's gonna come.
So, so it's like, how do we, or people who don't have that understanding, that overstanding, get to a place where it's like, I don't need to be attached to this talisman. I know it's not no 0 to 100. It's a shift. It has to be a mental shift and all that. But it's like, how do we get from, I need the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have all this money sitting in your windowsill. It's not doing nothing but losing value. But you got the land, if you got the food, if you got the property, now this is some shit I can do something with.
Can I ask you something real quick, Glo, about that? Are you, just to make sure I'm understanding, based off of the fact that all of us right now know that we can manifest, are you honing us in to the point of why don't we just continue to manifest without having to participate in their system? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think
it feels, yeah, and that's basically
and how others can like you said, not, you know, having the physical money, how to bring about the things that you need. And I like the fact that you said this in your in the previous Glo's Corner. You were mentioning as far as the gentleman, you know, almost been, you know, he was a monk and met the lady and yeah, I like that. And you was breaking it down how having the money, you know, he still wasn't happy. Like he like, this ain't it. Yeah, okay, so I need more, you know, as far as fulfillment. That's another thing that's very important, because money doesn't solve everything internal. So that's why a lot of things that, you know, we are connected to, we are involved in, you got to make sure that internally you feel good with, like, that's a divine order. That's, you're connecting with your divine self. So that really is important. That means that no matter how the money works, you'll get the money to get the resource. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's gonna come. It's gonna come because you got to change just knowing and having that mindset.
And Lou, I see you. I see your mind working over there, God. You know what I'm saying? I want to just throw something else in there also. Money is also one of their viruses that they put into the corona. You know what I'm saying? So anytime we focus on getting the money, because think about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead on and move into the metaphysical plane. When we meditate, we get what we want. So I think that we are like in the stage of growing into knowing. You know what I'm saying? That we can still get it without focusing on the money, fiat or digital. I think that's true, but I don't think enough of us are doing it to the point that the confidence comes out of the manifestations. So in other words, we still are attached to, I think I should ask in my meditation, or I think I should program in my meditation
for the money.
I need to get this money. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of saying, I'm going to open up a store.
Well, we did that.
It ain't about, I need this money so I can go ahead and
get the store.
It's about, let me focus on how I want the store and how I want everything done in it, where I want this at, where I want that. This gonna start coming to you. This is what people call miracles. When they say, I don't know how it happened, I was just there at the right time. It ain't no coincidence. It's because you're now you're receiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now you having that vibration around you that we're all vibrational beings.
But it's almost,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's almost like get the 3 wishes. You know what I'm saying? You ask, you run across the genie. You know what I'm saying? You ask the genie, you get 3 wishes, and then you ask for, because you're in the desert, let me get some water, let me get some shoes, and let me get a horse to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, let me get all the wishes that I can in life, period. I don't need to make any more wishes. That's what the dollar is. The dollar is keep on going and praying to the dollar when it's still not enough, and we're only asking just enough to get out of the situation. We're not asking how to change the whole situation as magical beings. So therefore, we don't even have to participate in that. We don't even have to toggle back and forth with our emotions, whether we should give our life's energy to a system that's inevitably going to create vaccines to try to shut us down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you. This is a great conversation. And to pinpoint it, it's really about learning how to manifest the new. And we have to find out what the new is.
Got anything for that, Lou?
Yeah, I agree. Manifesting in a different way, in a new way. As y'all were speaking, I was thinking about how Black people specifically, due to the fact that we come from, religious institutions or religious backgrounds, a lot of the times we wanted something, we prayed for it, you know what I mean? And these are the only times we try to reach God, and so I think even now, in our journey towards spirituality, when we meditate, I think these are some of the rewards that we sort of lean more towards. And that goes back to y'all said energy and motion. When we give more energy to to that side or that God, what I'm saying, then that is something that may take over us, but I feel that when we first guided to the true God, the source, then it's going to come either way, and not necessarily not go to source for these needs or these wants, but just go to source with a pure heart, a pure understanding, with something higher, a higher understanding, in order to receive the things that we want to receive. These things, they're just going to come. I don't think we should give it so much attention. I think it's a good topic because being an entrepreneur at such a young age, and also studying, getting on my
square,
right, at a young age as well. It was something that I did better with. Like they say, more money, more problems. More stress. That's where your focus is. And so it becomes hard to sort of balance. Walking in that spirit. But I realized, you know, later on when you know you begin to believe that you already have it, you know, it's already here, then you know, then you see it, you know.
Get it quicker.
Right, right. But when you know you serving the other side, then you know you don't really see it.
It's gonna be real short when you serving
Right,
that side because it's gonna run
right.
out. But
Well,
that's what true alignment is, and that's what becoming one with God is. That's what they talk about when they say become one with God. I ain't gotta, you know what, I'm gonna pray Tuesday, but Wednesday I got something to do. No, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that. It's, yo, I give thanks every day. That's because I know the life that I live is one with the source. It's one with the supreme. It's one with the most high. Like I am that. You understand what I'm saying? That's where people get confused because they look outside of themselves again.
And Glo, I know you want to jump in. I want to make sure I mention that again, money is manna. Money is manna. So they got us focusing on this system, but they got that system. It's a carbon copy of the manna. You know what I'm saying? This conversation, when you discuss economics with spirituality and magic, then we are beginning to move in what manna is, not what money is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the true power. That's source. You know what I'm saying? Glo, I think you was gonna say something?
yeah, I wanted to actually get a little personal with you all, because I'm the only person on the phone that I think that works like a 9 to 5 job. I work a 9 to 5. I got another side job, and then I do my hosting. I do my glowing. I'm getting into this yoga thing. You know, I'm in my mind. I'm setting myself up to completely remove myself or release myself from the need of the shackles or being under this typical structure. But that being said, I've like almost always worked since I was 16. I've worked a job. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't always been my desire, or maybe it has. But my question is for you all: have you ever worked a job or been in a job? And I think I know the answer for most of y'all. Been in a job that you were just like, it was a challenge to your ethics, to your spirit, to your you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, it was a challenge. Like spiritually, you were feeling attacked. You were feeling the burden of, okay, I'm getting this check. I'll give my example first. I used to work for a collection agency. The one in Hampton, y'all should know about. I worked there for several years, and it was such a challenge. But I had a goal in mind. I was recording my first album. I was making a nice amount of bonus money, and that job financed my first album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I paid for everything: studio time, mix, master, producing, buying beats, all that, all the graphics, all that I paid for with the job. As soon as I finished recording my album, I basically had to quit because I couldn't justify it anymore, and I could barely justify it while I was doing it because it was such this turmoil on my ethics. I felt guilt. But just tap into that, just so that people understand the challenge that we have encountered, the people have encountered.
So I'm a piggyback off of that. I can definitely relate to you. There's been, you know, like my background is medical. So I've come from, you know, medical assisting for 14 plus years, you know what I mean? Ethically, because I more so am I'm on the holistic side, you know, the healing side, the herb side, all of that. So being in the world of medicine, a lot of that contradicts, you know, what I'm about. I don't want no vaccines. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, I need to use religion as that. Well, that's what I'm going to use. You understand what I'm saying? So that was never something that I fell victim to. You know, I actually had to resign from that because it went to a point where you're not going to force anything on me. So now it's my time to resign. I have to go. You know what I'm saying? So not only, you know, with the medical thing, but you know, just balancing a 9 to 5 where, you know, you got to make sure you taking care of yourself, taking care of, you know, your needs, your family, those type of things. You get to a point sometime, depending on what type of a job it is, and you got to step back. And you're, especially now, everybody is pretty much working from home. But when you're working outside of your home, and now you're working with other people, you're dealing with other energies. You know, some people, they think they're titled, they're, you know what I'm saying? They think they their title. Like, you ain't your title, man. You a person.
You ain't the boss of me, Jack.
Let's get that straight first. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with that, you know, I would say a variety of my my jobs have been those where I just sit back and like, all right, yo, I ain't gonna be here long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to plan. And so there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of writing, there's a lot of goals, short term, long term, you know what I'm saying, midterm. So these are the type of things that we can definitely relate. A lot of times being an entrepreneur, especially, and that's right, you know, use your 9 to 5 to funnel your dream. Like, ain't nothing wrong. That's what you're supposed to do. We never tell nobody quit your job. I ain't telling you to quit your job, man. How you look? Do what you gotta do. That's our motto. Do what you gotta do.
And you might not be able to run in the waters that we run in. So I don't even want to advise you to come outside of your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying?
It's not for everybody. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
It's definitely work. Like, I don't know who said entrepreneurship is something easy. I don't understand.
And I don't know about you, Lou, but you know what I'm saying? We actually, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? We scaled. You know what I'm saying? We scaled. We, like you, Glo, you know what I'm saying? You got in this, you know what I'm saying, a position, you weren't really feeling it. It's collections, calling to oppress, you know what I mean, and help to collect the debt that they, you know, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, same with me with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was about to get right up in there, a DOD police officer. And they don't want me to be a cop because, you know what I mean, I'm letting some people go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that we're running through this muck and our feet ain't gonna come out without being dirty. You know what I'm saying? We gotta find a way to move through the mud quickly, you know what I'm saying? And make the transformation while we're next to other people in the mud so that they can see that it's possible to get out the mud.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that you can't call people to that level of courage. You know what I'm saying? It has to be in them. You know what I'm saying? Yes. How about you, Lou? I mean, has it been that way for yourself?
Yeah, so you know, it's a good point. You know, although I never had a 9 to 5, being an entrepreneur is a whole nother, you know, stress thing too, you know. And I became an entrepreneur at a real young age, you know, right out of high school, you know. So it had me in captivity, you know what I mean? And to the point where, well, what happened was, started working for this big company, you know, was making a lot of money, and that money sort of kept me, you know, captive, or even in fear of, you know, going elsewhere, because it was, you know, it involved a lot of my time, you know. I literally didn't have any freedom for myself, you know, no time for myself, no time to go within, you know. And so it was a fear of quitting and not being able to, you know, see that the same income, you know. And so it's something I had struggled with, you know. But you know, I finally made the decision, you know, and now I'm at peace more than ever, you know. So yeah, a lot of times, you know, chasing the money can, you know, keep us in captivity.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna say something too. Mentioning being in captivity, you become the business. See, when you are the business, you got to show up to make the money. I don't want to be the business. You understand what I'm saying? I want to have a business. You know, I want to own a business. I want to run a business, but I don't necessarily want to be the business, because being the business, we've done it for years. We had a barbershop and salon. Yeah.
Couple.
You know, opening up the doors.
The first one.
Yeah, we had a few of them. But my thing is, listen, it becomes very taxing on your body, especially if you're not, you don't have a balancement with your time. You know what I'm saying? You can't be open. Oh, what? Oh, you want your hair done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah. But see, a lot of times, and I wanted to say this too, I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, when we was talking about how intellectual speakers not getting paid, right?
Girl,
So,
that's where I was gonna go next, y'all. Yes.
So listen, this right here is real crucial, because a lot of people look at, even when I'm doing hair, Chuck cut hair, y'all ain't working. We are working. You got it confused, because you think that because I may be doing something that is my passion, that is my talent, that
we enjoy.
Yeah, or you don't think I should be compensated for. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is how I eat. This is how I feed my family. And I'm not gonna come to you and ask you to do something or assume that it's gonna be not without compensating you. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if that's what you do, if that's your talent, or you know, if that's how you get how you eat, basically. But we've encountered that so many times, you know, just being the business, you know, having people not want to pay what you're worth. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So when you dropping jewels and dropping knowledge, or you have a platform, you know, and you asking for even a donation, like, this is what it is, because it do take, you know, that.
During this part, I'm gonna put all our cash apps up right during this part, so they know.
Right. So,
donations.
I am manifesting.
We take those. We take those.
Yeah.
You know, we don't find value in conversation. You know what I mean? We don't sit at the foot of our elders and hear stories anymore. So we don't even see it as valuable. But they've been telling you the whole time, you know what I mean? They know the power in their lineage. And to be quite honest with you, they had to slow us down so that we could be on a pace that they could keep up with. And they had to make you call out the names of their ancestors. They had to make you give reverence to, you know what I'm saying, spiritual figures, saviors that look like them. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we'll always be under an inferiority complex, which again attacks your emotions, it attacks your godhood, it attacks your goddesshood, your ability to project, because inside of our subconscious, you always have this superior, you know what I mean, notion connected to them where you can't get ahead of them. And although it's not true, and although people like Adolf Hitler recognized this at the Olympics when Jesse Owens, you know what I'm saying, ran, and he was like, oh, it ain't even about the Jews, it's these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So how do we stop them? You know what I'm saying? How do we stop that? So we can take this conversation, Glo, into so many different directions. And Lou, we could take it in so many different directions. And I just want to kind of like figure out what is the meat. And I think both you, Lenisha, Glo, are moving in the direction of our ancestors, C. Freeman Ells, you know what I'm saying? The Delbert Blairs, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like Bobby Hemmett, you know what I'm saying? The list is extensive. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Richard King, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these beings that came down here and participated in this lane of pulling down energy and translating what they received from spirit and taking their time out, you know what I'm saying, to translate it and document it and put it in a book, get it published, get it on a bookshelf, you know what I'm saying, to have so many people walk past it, you know what I'm saying, because they were ahead of their time. You know what I'm saying? And so since they were ahead of their time, those of us who are also outside of the time loop, we the ones picked it up. You know what I'm saying? And it has not found a root in the community worthy of paying for over a Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Or iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Or some fashion. You know what I'm saying? But right now it's fashionable. I see now is pertinent. You know what I'm saying? For people to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a good place. We're in a good conversation place within this conversation, y'all. Not to be redundant. I'm lit about this conversation. Come on, what you got?
Sort
What y'all
of.
got?
What you got something, Lou?
Not right now. No.
Now you guys.
What I was gonna say is that being in that good place and those people that you were mentioning, the value of intellectualism and being intelligent. Like I can just talk about, you know, when I was growing up, I'm the youngest of 6. You know, they used to tease me for reading. You know what I'm saying? Like my siblings used to hard by. They used to call me Becky. They told me that I talk like a white girl. And they used to clown me really hard. And then one day they came to Verses and Vibes, the Glo Shines event, and they saw how I had parlayed, you know, my love of words into being the dope ass MC that I had become. And they was like, oh, okay, we see what you was doing, because okay, they understood the whole picture and how it went. And even on a deeper level, just that value of intellectualism, like we're not rewarding the smart kids. We're teasing the smart kids, even to this day. We're not rewarding the hunger and the desire for knowledge. Is like, yo, where are your Jordans at? You know what I'm saying? Like
you mentioned it, Glo. You started it off by saying Superman, Clark Kent is a liar. That same metaphor is Clark Kent having to suppress his superpower for us. Like, okay, Kimana, our daughter, I remember her being in math class. This is probably about 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? And so the teacher called on her and was asking her math problems. She was hitting them, bam, 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 one after another. You know what I'm saying? So the teachers, you know what I'm saying? She was like, show me your scratch paper. And my daughter was like, I don't have none. The lady took Kimana to the office and accused her of cheating, called home. It became a big thing that she could calculate in her mind. You must be cheating. You know what I'm saying? You must be cheating. So here we are in a situation again of exactly what you're talking about. We have to dumb down our energy, or, you know what I'm saying, dim our light to fit in these places. You know what I'm saying? Because the system on a majority level has boxed you in. And we haven't found a way to create a world outside of that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
that's the thing, because that's what we was talking about. Why you haven't found a way? Is that Bobby Seale behind you, Lou? I think it's Bobby Seale. It's Huey.
That's Huey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to talk about Bobby Hemmett, because it's like, why haven't we found a way? All these people that you brought up, Delbert Blair. I talked about C. Freeman L. I talked about Bobby. You know, all of our intellectual thought leaders, you know, like these are master teachers, you know, who have led the foundation. Like, if you don't know, Lou, a big way that me and Chuck and Lenisha came together was they used to bring me in on these building sessions with Dr. Richard King. Dr. Richard King is probably the forefather of the idea of melanin. So everything that we talking about with melanin, he literally wrote the book on it. So, you know, okay, actually, there we go. So just that, and I don't know how his financial place was, but for what he contributed to where we are now, what Dr. Sadie contributed to where we are now, their estates should be well taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Their family shouldn't have to worry about money. Like,
yes, I agree. And the same was with Dr. Richard King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was in the same situation.
See? So that's my thing. It's like, if we have this intellectual prowess, these leaders, why aren't they able to parlay it into financial security?
Wasn't it the same for Tesla?
Yes, absolutely. True.
You know what I'm saying? So what I've figured out so far, y'all tell me what you know what I'm saying, think about it. again, if you look at this infrastructure, this economic infrastructure, it's funded by entertainment, politics. You know what I'm saying? And we've now found out that they coincide, they work together. You know what I'm saying? They call them movie theaters, but they're really laboratories. People go in, they get their daily dosage and indoctrination of blockbuster movies that program the psyche. So everybody's conversation is on the latest movie. No, nothing outside of what they want you to talk about. You know what I'm saying? If you're not talking about what the latest television show is from Love and Hip Hop or Power, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We're talking about politics and what one left wing and right wing, you know what I'm saying, is doing. But it's a system that requires you to sit on the casting couch. It's a system that's requiring you to fit into their inner circles and keep their secrets. This is why we get that look from them of looking at us down their nose. You know what I'm saying? Because they have this facade that they have to live by of superiority, and it's really nothing. There's nothing in their core. There's nothing we desire, you know what I'm saying, in their psyche, in their spirit, by way of participating in their money system. You know what I'm saying? And so to close this up without moving too far and broad out of what I'm trying to say is that, you know, we wrestle with our emotions because we have a consciousness. You know what I'm saying? We know that we are contributing to the domino effect of things. They don't have a consciousness about it. And they have initiations to make sure that you don't have a consciousness about it. Can you kill this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? If we called you to kill this nigga, if he decided to talk about the secrets of what we do behind closed doors, really, that's all it is, yo. They have been able to buy so much time that they have NASA, they have funded NASA, you know what I'm saying? They have funded the medical system, you know what I'm saying? To keep us suppressed so we won't grow beyond their comprehension. You know what I'm saying? They're perverted and they have a whole lot of shit with them, to be quite frankly, from pedophilia, you know what I'm saying, to all sorts of things that don't sit right with our spirit. So I understand wrestling with, should I give my money to this dollar, to this business, you know what I'm saying, when I don't vibe with them ethically. You know what I'm saying? They had to kill Nipsey. They had to kill Sebi. You know what I'm saying? Because they were taking away the attention of all of the people of the chattel property that they were eating off of and experimenting on for many years. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make sure they die penniless. This is magic, remember. How can I reward Bobby Hemmings, C. Freemanello, or any of them, you know what I'm saying, for freeing the slaves? You know what I'm saying? They hot about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So they got to get rid of them. We change realities. We take our minds off of them when we listen to our elders. That's why they got to put Trump in front of us. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got to side Trump next to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? So they can symbiotically feed off of Kanye. If Kanye's standing next to Trump, he must be good. So this is subtle magic that they're doing, psychological mind tricks. You know what I'm saying?
I think what we often mistaken is money for wealth. You know, like y'all mentioned, you know, that Glo mentioned, you know, why aren't you know, they rich when, you know, our scholars are spitting that knowledge, you know. And it's like, I think, well, to me, I like to look at knowledge as wealth, you know. And I think everyone will perceive it differently, you know. But for instance, if you ask someone, you know, would they prefer money or knowledge? Most of us will choose the money, you know. But that's the way of wealth, you know. I know a scripture that goes, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that works in all things?
Nice. Nice. Bang,
Mm-hmm.
bang. You know what I'm saying? Word up. Yo, so you said it right there. And to be quite honest with you, think about it for a second. Entertain this notion, everybody. Since we know that we manifest things, right? I'll give you an example. This is the type of stuff that Lenisha and I had to chastise our children for, bringing them up knowing magic or knowing how to manifest. We'll say to our son, like, or our daughter, you're not getting that $200 gold chain. They're like, yo, I want this $200 gold chain. And you're 12. And I'm like, nah, you're not getting that. They'll go outside and find one on the sidewalk. Literally, it'll be on the sidewalk. What the fuck you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you using your magic for that gold chain? See,
Right.
with that type of power, they had to educate us. They had to edit us down. They had to indoctrinate us. They had to make us follow this fiat, this American dream, this false dollar, so that we'll keep chasing and giving our energy to them building the world that would eventually trap us in this epidemic.
Right. And it, it brings us back to when we're speaking about spirituality and physical. I feel that when we choose the physical, or we walk in the physical, in the flesh, we'll always be hungry. So we'll always want, and we'll always want. We talk about money. There's no limit to richness. You know what I mean? So you may gain that $1 million, but that's still not going to be enough.
No doubt.
As compared to when we walk in the spirit, we're always satisfied. We're always full. You know what I mean?
That's why they say, don't repeat this life or leave wanting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't want to wanting.
Don't be found wanting. And even scriptures, metaphors that we didn't understand, it's easier for a camel to get through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get to heaven. We didn't understand any of that. But what I do, you in a good place, Lou. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have to manifest by way of money. We just manifested.
Exactly.
We forgot that. And they broke up our little gatherings and created laws, you know what I'm saying?
That's what it was.
Unlawful assembly and shit like that.
That's what our gatherings was. It's barter. It's like it won't. You didn't need anything.
Exchange of ideas. Exchange of energy.
You got a talent, you do this,
Exactly.
I do this. All right, okay, everybody good.
Okay. And that goes back to what I was saying about why entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I don't think everybody need to or should be running a business, but I do think that everybody need to find their gift or their skill and master it and tap into it. Because I can work beside you all and learn things that I can expand on, and it's something that I can bring to you all. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is what I can do, and I can offer this to you. That don't mean that I got to run an empire related to it, but this is my gift and my skill, and this is how I can contribute to the whole, to us as a whole. I mean, to our collective self. And even with the idea of like the collective self and just us being, I feel like I lost my thought, but even with the idea of the collective self and the collective whole, and us exchanging our thoughts and ideas and not saying, hey, what you gonna give me? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, how much money you gonna pay me? It's like, well, how much time can you give me? And that's the value. Like you said, that's where the wealth comes from. So if we know that there are entities, we'll call energies, egregores, that are working to block and stop and hinder our attempt to manifest without needing to bypass their shit and do our shit, then what do? How do we work around that?
You did a great job you said you lost your thought, but you did a great job pulling it back in. You recognize how hard you worked to pull that back.
I ain't gonna let this shit go. Yeah, we can do it.
Nah, don't let it go though. Don't let it go. You know what I'm saying? You grab that back. Yo, we appreciate that, yo. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was ready to dive on that. Great job on that. You know what I'm saying? With the fly right there. You know what I'm saying? We saw you working through it. So I want to say this though. Listen, check it out though. Listen, when they have their board meetings and they have their votes on the yays and nays, they are invoking and evoking entity. You know what I'm saying? And they even tell you that these corporations are entities. And so entity being egregore or egregorical, you know what I'm saying? Then that's thought form. And so that means that right now, out of these types of conversation, this is a seed that could plant more conversation to build on other rungs on the ladder that we didn't consider. and even known possible, because we decided to run in a different lane. And so since we began to run in a different lane, our thought energy is all focusing on the possibilities, what's going to come out of if I do it this way, what happens? The laws of cause and effect, the Kabbalion comes into play, into mind. And so they have their board meetings. They have their people that they sit at the round table and consider the vote, and they keep it one odd number out so that that one person can topple the decision. You know what I'm saying? We don't have board meetings. We don't have councils. You know what I'm saying? And so we lose the opportunity to manifest thought and allow thought to give birth to immaculate conceptions or immaculate concepts. You know what I'm saying? Those immaculate concepts are nothing but pure plans, foolproof plans. The opposite of immaculate conception is sin. People think sin is evil. No, sin means to miss your mark by way of concordance, strong concordance. Go look it up. You know what I'm saying? The actual definition of sin means to miss your mark. That means that if I'm an archer and I'm shooting for my bullseye and I miss, I have sinned based on my own desire that I wanted, and I was aiming for the bullseye, but I missed it. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to have a new bullseye that we collectively shoot for, so we can develop those immaculate Christ concepts out of our thinking, out of our melanin, taking it into our dream state, and it'll go into a whole nother realm, take us in a whole different direction. It's magic.
Yeah, and I think for us especially, you know, those who, you know, we may call ourselves scholars or spiritual beings, I think we have to also remind ourselves if the systems or the ideals that we carry, whether they go with nature or against nature. You know, and I think a lot of times our ideas go against nature. You know, being from Haiti, you know, every time I go there, you know,
Shout out to Haiti, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
yo.
Right.
That's where it's at. That's the power. That's the nuclear epicenter.
I concur. I concur.
Right. You know, but every time I visit, well, first of all, every time I say I'm Haitian, they're like, oh, isn't that, you know, isn't it poor out there? You know, these negative remarks, you know, and it's like, you know, it goes back to, you know, what is our perception of wealth, you know? But what I notice every time I go there is the smiles and the joy, you know, on everyone's face, even though their conditioning may not be to, you know, the living conditions that we may expect or choose, you know.
Shout out to Tucson Offshore. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, and so that alone proves to us, you know, what is wealth, you know, or what is the wealth that we should be aiming for. You know, do you want do you want to be satisfied, you know, in the physical or in the spiritual?
So let's define it though, Lou. Let's define it. We already hovering around what we know to be true. So let's have that conversation in that direction. What we're talking about, our wealth is our knowing, is our magic. It's our symbiotic relationship with nature.
And also, don't forget about health.
Yes,
I mean,
say that.
health is definitely wealth. And that's the health of your mind, the health of your physical being, the health of your spiritual self. So health, it ain't all about, okay, yeah, you eating good and stuff like that. That's just one aspect of health. So when, you know, we say
or driving the Bentleys.
Yeah, when we say your health is your wealth, that's health all the way around. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can't enjoy any type of wealth if you don't have that. You understand what I'm saying?
And there's many ways to eat. She mentioned not just eating food. We got to eat that sun. You know what I'm saying? We got to know that we are eating it, and we have to know what to do with the fuel. It'll manifest the realities that we want. We just got to go back to what they say is stay woke. What happened? Where everybody go?
That's a good, but to the eating, not even just the food and the health, is everything that we ingest. So what are we looking at on television? What are we listening to?
What are you listening to?
We are eating. Exactly. This is going to contribute to your spirit body, to your Merkaba, to the energy force that, you know, what happens after that. You know, that's the byproduct. You think the byproduct is just clear skin because you've been eating cucumbers. No, it's like an energy force that makes you identifiable to to as one of them. Oh, that's one. There go one of us, because they have been ingesting the things that make their light body amplified. So I know that they can roll with it. You know, and so this is another thing about diet. You know, or lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
Yes, indeed.
People be confused. They be like, girl, well, how is it? Girl, you got to change your mind. When you change your mind, you're going to be good. But if you don't change your mind, you're going to fall victim to so many other things. You're not, you faking, man.
And it's a fact.
You know
a lot of people, they fake MCs, false prophets, yo. You know what I'm saying? People good, when you're a vegetarian or a vegan, or whether you're a whatever it is that you say you do, and you run into somebody, their consciousness, guilty consciousness, begins to confess to you. I'm not even asking you anything. I'm just walking out and be like, yo, man, I slipped. Yo, I ate a pork chop sandwich last week. No, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
That's
like,
your
you know
personal walk. Like, that's your personal walk.
You know
ain't nobody judging.
Ain't nobody judging you. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do and make it work and make it manifest.
Absolutely.
I think that this conversation is highly, you know what I'm saying, like valuable right now. The wealth that we're talking about is our ability to become the knower, our ability to be able to walk on pure thought becoming manifested, opening up the parables, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And making those parables work in your life, because that's where that's prescriptions. Prescriptions are given by doctors. And you're supposed to use those to remedy a situation. But these prescriptions, when you crack them open, you overstand, because you get that, oh, that's what they talking about. Because it manifests in your life so loudly that now you don't even have nobody to relate to, because it's so unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that our wealth development are in these conversations right here.
Okay, so we redefined. Go ahead, Lou.
Well, y'all touched on a couple things. You know, y'all mentioned like the literal and, you know, not literal term, you know, means of consumption. And you know, I kind of want to touch on that, and how, you know, it goes one and the same. Like, even, you know, like they say, if we look at anatomy, you know, our gut is our second brain. You know, so what we consume, you know, is what we begin to think or know. You know, I don't want to lose what my point.
Come on, man. Yeah, look, Glo made it difficult. You gotta come on. Go get it, Lou. Go get it. It's right there.
Nah, I'm gonna come back.
Talk about your consumption. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, I hope what I say brings it back to you, because what I was talking about is that we've already thrown out some ideas of what the new definition of wealth is. So the new definition of wealth is talking about health. It's talking about being a knower. What I'll add to it, and what we said is, it's talking about a connection with nature, being able to consume clean food that has not been tainted by chemicals, being able to breathe fresh air, to feel the sun unimpeded, untouched, or you know, by whatever they putting up there, chemtrails and all that, to feel that energy. So that all of that is related to the connection of nature. Like, that's what I see. You know, it was back to you was talking about Haiti. I had, like I said, y'all know about my experience in Jamaica. This is a similar experience. Like, these people were our people, we were in a place where it's like, by most standards, this is a poor place. But to me, it was the most wealthy place that I saw, because they were literally in paradise. They could go outside and pick a pineapple, anything off the tree. Exactly. And it was a beautiful day all the time. And they was eating good, and it was family there. So I just really want to add to and change the definition of wealth. So we have a nice list there going. So anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, someone had fasting just earlier when we're talking about the different forms of consumptions, and I think, you know, a lot of times we think fasting is just our diet, you know, but it goes into everything. You know, like we mentioned, our environment, you know, the things that we consume, but in this case, you know, like, we can fast from money, you know, since that's the topic, You know, that's a way of fasting, and the fact that we understand that fasting is beneficial, right? I guess also reveals that being too hungry for money or that physical wealth is also you know
Nice.
Can hurt us, right?
That's nice right there. That's scholarship. You said you just mentioned
Fasted for
scholarship
money.
level. See,
How
you
you do
also
that?
and you you also mentioned nature. With
Right.
nature, see, you got to remember they take and remember. Okay, let's talk about scriptures. Lucifer fell from heaven and wanted to create heaven, right? So he wanted to create heaven on earth. So nature is actually operating within nation. See, the nation is ran off of currency. It's called currency because it's mimicking water. They call us the sea. You know what I'm saying? Chattel property, maritime law, admiralty law. You know what I'm saying? They know about, you know what I'm saying, the elements. They know what that is. And what they've done is they've created a pseudo world, you know what I'm saying, based off of their inability to tap into that nature. So they have to create a synthetic form of nature, nationalism. You know what I'm saying? They have to create, um, pharmaceutical industries. So therefore, we won't eat from the mango tree and get sunlight energy. You know what I'm saying? And consume that and go into our dream state off of the sun rays that we pulled into our solar panels that deposit itself as fuel into our sunbark so our dreams will manifest epiphanies out of what we need to do the next morning when we go forth by day. You know what I'm saying? So they have created this pseudo world, you know what I'm saying, where it makes them look invincible. So this is their nature. Technology. You understand? The telephone. They need the telephone. We have telepathy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's right in our face, but we chasing their dream. You know what I'm saying?
It pulls us away from nature. That's what happens, you know. I mean, because for real,
Look at us now.
ancestors didn't have to worry about what time it was. You know what I mean? Like they related to the stars, the moon, and the sun, and that's what their time was.
When I tell you
why they work.
time, and I'm a Saturn baby, and time is such this thing for me that it's just being on time, the concept of being on time, and when it's time for me to do something in my own time, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But when you tell me to be there at 7, I will be there at 7:15.
Hey, listen, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal.
But if you be like, just get there when you get there, I will be there at 6:55. You know, it's just this thing with time. I want to talk about a little bit, and then we can just go into wrapping it up. But I want to talk about, because we were talking about wealth and our idea of wealth, and that even started going into this idea of heaven, you know, because that is a lot of time the ultimate wealth. You know, a lot of people are doing this work for this whatever reward we might get after. You know what I'm saying? That really, whether you admit it or not, religious or spiritual, we think we're going to ascend or we're going to go to heaven. Or so I was just watching this thing about the Hindu religion, and it's sort of related to like the flat earth theory. So they have they have 7 heavens, and then they have the 7 lower heavens. So the realm immediately beneath this earthly realm is actually probably heaven by most people's standard. I forgot what it's called. They're called Loka, I think. And in that realm, the people are extremely wealthy, and they're like getting fed grapes, but it's still lower than Earth. It's a realm completely ruled and covered and sprinkled with gold and riches, and the people have there's no spirit, there's no satisfaction. So it sort of makes me think the way we are talking about wealth and our thoughts of heaven, our thoughts of wealth, is it based on who we are as spiritual entities. And that other people's idea of wealth and heaven is going to be just completely just different, going to be earthbound. It's
And
going to
based
be
on their
like,
capabilities, Glo.
Say what?
And based, not to cut you, but based on their capabilities to manifest their idea of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not able to think outside of their
What they have.
capabilities. So they need to create a telephone because they're not telepathic. So their idea of heaven is to get us to contribute to creating their heaven. If that makes
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't mean to cut you. I was just trying to compliment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. Cause I think, my thing is that sometimes I be thinking everybody need what I need and want what I want. You know what I'm saying? I talk about my mother. She's a Jehovah's Witness. I don't agree with a lot of the teachers, but she thinks she's going to go to paradise after she transitions. And in all honesty, I want her to have that experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want her to get the heaven that she has set forth in her mind, even though that's not my idea of what I want for heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do we, are we imposing our ideas, our will, our thoughts, expectations on other people by saying, listen, you can't do this. You can't fuck with the fiat. You got to do this. You need to go this way. Like, maybe everybody ain't supposed to come with us.
Everybody got their own walk. I mean, like, if speaking of, different religions, like Christians, they're gonna go to a Christian heaven. Muslims, they're gonna go to a Islamic heaven. You know what I'm saying? Buddhists, they're gonna go to, it's everybody's perception for real. You understand what I'm saying? So like, heaven, when they say, heaven on earth is creating what you see fit for you, like you just said. Everybody don't need, or everybody don't want what you want. You know what I'm saying? So it's really that freedom of thought and the freedom to relate to what do you see your heaven being like? You know what I mean? Like, what do you see? And then what you want to manifest here, creating that heaven on earth. You know what I mean? Create. Everybody don't relate to nature. We might sound crazy to some people talking about what relating to the moon, stars, and the sun. No, you know what I'm saying? So everybody ain't herbalist. Everybody don't do that. You know what I mean?
And Glo, I hope we're staying on topic because this conversation has so many tentacles. You know what I'm saying? I hope that we're at least hovering within the vicinity of what you anticipated to bring us, together like this. But as you can see, there's so many places that we could go in this conversation. And we're going to have to, I'm enjoying this. We're going to have to continue this. I'd love to, see what we all get out of the epiphanies. What about you, Lou?
Yes, I agree. I know when he first brought this to my attention, I was like, I wanted to brainstorm on, what to say. And I was like, damn, this can go on so many farms, so many other dynamics. But I also want to touch back on what the sister just said. If we claim that like heaven is a state of mind, right, then we have to begin to understand that others will have a different form of heaven, which means that we all have our own God, and
it's okay.
And that's okay. But you see, because a lot of us come from, religious institutions and, that form of indoctrination, we sort of place judgment on others if they aren't following, what we choose. And a lot of times we do that because we want to feel good about what we believe. Yeah. We want to think that what we believe is the truth, is the one and only truth. But I know Glo and I, we often speak of truths, universal truths and personal truths. That is often our topic. But and which means that, for instance, if we're trying to reach God, right, become God, then that means you and I will, because of our different experiences in life, our struggles or traumas, that would mean that it'll be the process of becoming God for the both of us differs. Yeah. See, I may be stronger, I may be mastered in one position, but that you haven't yet mastered, and you may be mastered in an area that I need mastering. And so because of that, our healing isn't the same. So a lot of times we can't sort of expect others to follow the same paths that we have. And I feel that goes into love. Because in order to love someone, you have to understand them, which means that even if you may not agree with them 100%.
And also know thyself, though. See, know thyself in all thy ways. So when you know thyself, you can hear somebody else's goal in their endeavor. You don't have to stop moving in the direction of where you're moving to because you think the grass is greener. Even looking at how they kind of like deposited toxic thinking in their God. You know, they say things like God is a jealous God. Like, I don't even understand how a God could be jealous, and then to walk away from that conversation without questioning that. You know what I'm saying? This goes to show the sleepy consciousness that's within our thinking, and we're basically caught up in the congregation of being around people to escape the world that is not giving us the reality that we want to project. So I have to just take what I can get and feel good because I'm in the company of people who are enjoying hymns. And oh, look at, you know what I'm saying, Sister Susan, she sure is wearing that hat this Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Susan, by the way. So
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But until we get to a point where we embrace knowing that we are manifestors ourselves, and to create, you know what I mean, altars in our home, sacred spaces in our home, you know what I mean, taking time out to be deliberate about what we speak, what we ingest, who we're around, you know what I'm saying, what we project in reality, you know what I'm saying, until we get into that place, you know what I mean, we'll be just always running around in the, you know, merry-go-round in the house of mirrors. We won't get out of it because we keep chasing their idea of heaven. And if you die chasing their God, you're going to die and reincarnate back as servants to help them continue creating their heaven.
It's a movie. I know we mentioned it to you before, Glo, What Dreams May Come.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, and Robin
Williams.
Yeah.
Based off of Dante's Inferno.
Movie, but it's relating to the perceptions of heaven and hell, you know, from different points of view. So that's a really good movie to check out. It's an older movie, but it's called What Dreams May Come.
And you know, I know you want to close out, Glo, but I didn't get a chance to ask Lou, like, how have you identified your spirituality into, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you've never worked a job? Like, you have to look at that at 30 and say, not only are you against the status quo, but you have to have time to reflect and identify the spiritual contribution to you being able to live in the earthly environment of being an entrepreneur. What have you identified in that spiritual, magical relationship? You know what I'm saying?
I believe that that's a good question. I believe that my conclusion in my journey is to no longer give, you know, so much energy towards, you know, that which is in the physical, but first cast that energy towards the spiritual, towards the right side, you know, and then it'll come naturally, you know what I mean? So just believing and always walking as a creator, you know, I create my reality.
Fire.
You know? So
fire.
That's basically where I'm at.
You know.
I'm getting there.
Definitely, yo. I appreciate y'all so much for doing this. If y'all have any other thoughts that you wanted to add, and just to tie in real quick, when we ended up, it's actually very dope that we ended up talking about heaven and hell, just because I didn't see the conversation going that way. But really, that is the ultimate prize.
Yeah.
The ultimate measure of wealth is like what we get at the end. You know, we always want a prize. That's what we work the job for, to get that prize. That's what we try to be entrepreneurs for, so we can get the prize of I did this without working a 9 to 5. And that's why we try to live generally a good life, be ethical, be pious, treat people right, be charitable, because we want to, just in case whatever happened, we want to say we did the good thing so that we can get the good prize. So I mean, it might have seemed a little bit wild or out of pocket that we ended up talking about heaven and hell, but it was actually just like perfect, because that is the final prize that we are really working for. Whatever your spiritual system of belief is, you working for what we're going to be, how I'm going to be in eternal forever after we are out of the flesh. Like, because we still want stuff. And even that thought, the thought of that, we still want stuff when we are going to be spiritual and we're not even going to have no flesh. Like, we still want to have something good. It was like, are we going to want anything? You know, that's sort of crazy to even think like we going to want.
They told you that. They told you, they said heaven is a place without, you know, pain or suffering or sorrow, sickness and all that stuff. But this is a great platform, Glo. You know what I'm saying? Everything you do is top shelf. We appreciate it. And I want to make sure that, you know, I take out of this conversation, you know, and document that I think the conversation has to, the next time we get together, has to hover around, you know what I'm saying, the vicinity of the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Because the stock market is leveraging, but it's leveraging our energy to create their heaven on earth. They've never lifted a finger. The ones that operate in white collar, they're the ones that's sitting in the boardroom that's coming up with ideas that's making the lichens. This is the lichens and the vampires. You know what I'm saying? The workers are the lichens, the ones who get frustrated when the full moon comes because they can't get out. You know what I'm saying? They can't get out of it. And we've witnessed this, you know what I'm saying, with what happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've witnessed the overflowing of pent up energy spilling out into the streets. You know what I'm saying? From years and years of not being able to create our heavens on earth, watching them ride around in yachts and visiting different places on the planet, and their children's grandchildren are sure to do the same fucking thing, because our great-great-grandchildren are going to be slaving to make sure that they are able to, you know what I'm saying, tee off in the golf course. We now know, and they know we know, creating heaven on earth was happening when our athletes were moving in their neighborhoods, when their daughters and sons were interbreeding with us, and we're bringing our ideology into their home. We were running them off of the planet. And so they had to throw everything at us. You know what I'm saying? They had to make us chant a different chant. You know what I'm saying? Recite a different mantra, from stay woke to I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why they feel as though this social distancing is about somebody sneezing on you. Nah, social distancing is about getting as far the fuck away from us, because we were eating away at their infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? And getting closer and closer to them. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a good place, creating heaven on earth. What are you getting out of 2020? You know what I'm saying? Because 2020 is manifesting something, whether this God lets you down and you sitting in your sorrow in a sunken place, or you getting and finding your identity and your talents are manifesting. Follow your talents. You know what I'm saying? Word up. You know what I'm saying? This is a great conversation, great platform. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, I low key want to talk about the stock market though, because
bring it in. Bring
okay. I just want to talk about it because we had a little build about the stock market, because, like you said, it was this fishing reel that was like bringing us in. Because before 2020, I can guarantee if there's a statistic out there that's going to show that more original people than ever have gotten into stocks and bonds since 2020, since the virus, quote unquote, you know, and we all in there deep, like conversation. This is all of this whole Glo corner, all of this came from the discussion about stocks and bonds. We were talking about the stock system. So the idea is that, first of all, why are we all of a sudden so welcome in this system that was so guarded before? Now all of a sudden, all original people, we in here deep. We doing Forex. We doing all these other little things that, you know, all these other
feel like a hand-me-down to me though.
Oh yeah, cryptocurrency.
Yes, all these things, all these markets that were really like the golf club. You know, that was keeping us out, like members only shit. Now all of a sudden it's like,
oh no, we know about it now.
We need your currency. We need your energy to stimulate, like you said, this dying market, because it's going to die without y'all to come in here and resuscitate and give it the, you know what I'm saying, the old clear. And I just think that that's sort of interesting. And it's like, I don't want to step on no toes. I think I stepped on my family's toes when I said this to him, because it's like, no, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just looking at it with the one eye, like CBS, because it's just a little fishy that all of a sudden it's like, come on, y'all. The more
like a hand-me-down, right?
The key to freedom is the melanin. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is about to die. And if we don't let them in, it's all but gone.
They create a new system. It's built around that cryptocurrency. This cryptocurrency is connected to our emotions. I think our battery's about to die. This is a great conversation. You know, like you said, you know what I'm saying? Why now? Why they letting us in now? Feel like a hand-me-down to me. You know what I'm saying? If they letting us in right now, it's almost like neighborhoods where they move out of the neighborhoods and then we move into it and call it a new house. But it's an old house that they moved out of, you know what I'm saying? Because they need the, you know what I'm saying? They need our energy. You know what I'm saying? So that they can move on to other places and put their equity into other neighborhoods. We can go into so many different directions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, because I do want to talk about that. And I want to talk about, because I feel like we can make it work to our advantage, but we're going to have to be real with ourselves, you know, what it is. You know what I'm saying?
We can have a whole conversation on that.
Yeah. Do you have anything on this real quick, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the nail. You know, I feel that, you know, money has always been something that, you know, would gain Black people's attention. You know what I mean? So I feel that there's many reasons as to why, you know, we are, you know, we're even paying attention to the markets now. We're, you know, a part of it, especially Forex. I know a lot of Black people who are speaking about it now. And I think a lot of it was built on fear, you know, with the virus, like I said, that came around, people losing their jobs, you know, them turning to that. So I think it's perfect timing for those higher up in you know, accomplishing their mission for whatever set reason they are allowing us into these markets. But also, you know, like going back to the money, I feel that at one point, you know, especially with the woke movement, although I may not agree 100% with that, you know, our people were on the right path to awakening.
What you mean you don't agree with that?
I don't agree. I mean, see,
What?
you pulling me, you know, different directions now.
Okay.
But okay, what do I mean by not fully agreeing with that? I feel that when we create certain titles, such as, you know, religions, you know, ideas, you know, for us to so-called call ourselves or label ourselves, then I feel that it limits us to our full capabilities of becoming, you know, the divine, you know. And so because what now you have expectations that come with these certain titles, you know. In order to be woke, you have to do this, you have to, you know, all of these things. And I feel that, you know, being elevated and awakened, you know, is our own journey, and that shouldn't be limited to any other
Consciousness. That's what it is.
And Lou, to add on to that, offer a little bit more clarity. You know, when I was talking about, you know, we were chanting, you know, stay woke, and then we were chanting I can't breathe. It's exactly. It's not to dismiss that that's a reality.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that we operate off grapevine and trend. And so when we see our people moving in a direction, we move in that direction. We were moving in a direction, whether some people were operating in the fad of it, they still had the right to operate in the fad of it, so that they can get the parable that it's more than just a fad and it's actually real. Fad has its purpose, but what they did is they kicked, you know what I'm saying, the training wheels off the bike before they could ever realize that stay woke is still happening. The percentages may be smaller, but the percentages now are the ones that know what woke, quote unquote, is.
Right.
And so that separation actually identifies the X-Men.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like inviting everybody and see who stay around to the end to have this conversation. You know, because even the woke, you know, to me, and I feel you, because that can be, because people can get locked into, I am a 5%er, I am this, and they're gonna be stuck in that. But I think it's a timestamp as well. So it does have that ability to put you in a box, that idea of being woke or conscious. That's why I say it like that. But I also, I have this mixed thing because I feel strongly and positive about the word woke, because a sister, I'm always pick her up, Georgia Ann Muldrow, thought of this word. This is her concept.
Yeah.
She created this idea of being woke. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to demonize her brainchild of being aware and enlightened. But also, as it being a timestamp, it is something that's just like, oh, we passed this marker. You know what I'm saying? This is a marker that we hit, so you knew where we were going. And but some people are going to get stuck on that tier of the ladder. And some people are going to keep elevating to, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it ain't no title that can define me or hold me. I'm every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I mean, I agree with that. You know, that's why I say I don't agree with it completely. You know, yes, you know, these things are.
We value your insight though. So like, you know, as a deliberate thinker, what is it that you would, you know, contend with? What is it that you would need to qualify it, or what is it that you're holding on to it that we would yield to disqualify it? I'm looking for not who's right, what's right, universal truth. So
Right.
your thought of what you don't agree with completely is of value in this moment. I would love to hear it.
For sure. Well, as you mentioned, you know, how it's trendy. I go, you know, I go the opposite direction of the masses. You know, like it says, enter into the straight gate and not the wide, because the wide leads to destruction. You know what I mean? So when I see a lot of people doing, you know, something, it's trendy. You know, I don't want no part of it. You know what I mean? Now, of course, I'm not disagreeing with the term or even the intent of why it was created, but you know, it's the simple fact that I personally just rather not go where the masses are. You see.
No doubt.
So before you were so rudely interrupted by me, you were talking about woke relative to stocks and the stock market. Are you able to retrieve that idea, or is it too far gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, my bad, because I was really interested about your idea of woke, but it's something that we could definitely build on. Like right now, we are spirit energies having a physical experience, and in our physical experience, we are still participating in this exchange, this currency exchange, and we finding ways to do it that are the least in conflict with our ethics, with our spirituality, with our evolution. So I know that both of you all the three of you all, have things that you all are doing that is a part of that is helping you create currency, you know, physical currency, and to the point that we don't need that anymore. So what I want y'all to do is take this time, if you are open to or willing to, is to share, you know, the things that you have going on, where people can find you, your services, products, all that good stuff. You know, I know y'all all got some dope shit going on that is helpful for the communities as well. So if you all want to take a minute to tell us what y'all got going on, or where they can find that stuff, however y'all want to do it, please take this moment to do that, please.
I want.
No, I appreciate that. You know, as far as me, you can find me on IG, mindful_elevations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to build, share knowledge, you know, any business ideas, anything, you know, reach out. But also, I'm dropping a mineral water brand called CellUR. Play on words for cellular.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that our bodies are cells first, and that we have to hydrate the cells, get the cells in order, and then everything else will flow in a natural process. That's something I want to mention, is that, you know, for me, especially when it comes to business, you know, I try to, you know, get into a line of business that also benefits the people, you know. And so first, you know, I feel that this is a perfect way to educate people about the importance of water, the consumption, and how it, you know, relates to our bodies and our functions, you know. So yeah, for sure, we'd love to be part of that. We will have wholesale options. We're not fully, you know, launched yet. You know, we're still going through a process, but if you follow the page, so you are, I believe we are on IG. I'm not sure if we're on Facebook yet. We'll have a website soon. You know, keep in touch with us there. Yeah.
Soon come.
That's what's up.
What about you, Black Diamond, in etheric realms?
Black Diamond. So of course we you know, like I said before, definitely health is wealth. So we definitely promote health and wellness products. We have everything from detox teas to liquid vitamins. Also, you know, definitely knowing that working your body and healing your body on a cellular level is the way to go. That's where natural healing takes place. We also promote and provide our new and newest product is the Mantra Yoni Steams. Very interesting when it comes to, you know, healing on cellular aspect, but also, you know, a feminine aspect, you know, taking care of the womb. So my daughter actually developed a yoni steam, and she has regular and also ones with the CBD flower.
Getting her certification, you know what I'm saying, as a master herbalist. You know
so
what I mean?
Definitely benefiting from
Big
the
ups.
benefit, yeah, from different herbs that you all can, you know, look us up at _herbalistic, and that's HERBALISTIC. That's on Instagram. That is not on Facebook as of yet, but definitely with the Yoni steams. Also, with other products to come. But as far as main IG page is blackdiamondinform, INFORM, on Instagram as well as Facebook. And like I said, health aspect all the way. Of course, you know, getting more into doing things, you know, like this, like Glo's Corner, you know, just giving information and sharing information with others. I'm definitely also big in vegan cooking. That is what I love to do. So I'm working on some things with that, you know, books and stuff like that. But it's actually
In the works.
in the works. And if you want to, you know, hit me up on that by way of Black Diamond, you can get to that, or you can go to on Instagram is New Moon Vegan. That's NUMOON.vegan. So yeah. Yes.
Big ups to you all. Thank you so much. For me, you can find me Glo Shines, GLO_shines. I'll put my email address up here too. And I'm right now, I'm still hosting, virtual hosting, finding a way to flip this virtual thing into we're gonna do some different things with it. So we can do virtual hosting, virtual event planning for you. That's inclusive. I am a host, poet, MC. Music is on the way. I'm about to be in the lab. I got the yoga thing popping off. That's happening. So if you need a yoga for your corporate events, a personal teacher, hit your girl up, yo. I got all the stretches on Deckington, and I mean those are the main things. But I am a jackay of all trades. I like to cook too, but we're gonna have to talk about that because that's gonna require some some other discussions as well. But those are the things. We'll put all the information I'll put all the information up so y'all can see it and easily access us. And I'll put all our cash apps up. So if you can't immediately support us by buying a product and you want to support us and support this conversation by just giving a little, you know what I'm saying, by donating to these great minds, because, you know, great minds deserve currency. God damn it. Then you can do that as well. And I'll put everybody's information up. And if y'all open to doing this type of discussion again, if y'all have interest in specific topics, hit me up. Yo, I'm so grateful for these people. Like, I'm not exaggerating. These are some of the dopest beings that I know, not on this earth, in all of the multiverses, yo. Everywhere that life exists, you ain't gonna find them too much better than what's right here. I'm just gonna let you know. I'm biased as hell, but
Same. It's mutual. It's mutual.
Respect, yo. I thank y'all so much for joining. I'm about to stop this record. Y'all big ups yourself. Thank y'all for coming to Girls Corner.
Yo, it's a pleasure meeting you, though, Lou.
I'm not hanging up. Just stay for 1 second.
I should warn ya, you're in Glo's Corner. I should warn ya, you're in Glo's Corner.
But notice that they have separated those that think alike. So it takes crowdfunding on whatever it is, you know what I mean, in order to create a majority rule situation, you know what I'm saying, and an exclusivity to a situation. So whether it's Christians who have an ideology that locks out Muslim thinking, Muslim thought, Muslims that block out Buddhist thought, or Democrats and Republicans, all of these are groups of people that come together to collectively to follow through with policy, you know what I'm saying, execute in action to continue to bring in the reality that they want to live in called heaven. They have created a consciousness that has run the course from the presidency all the way from their first president, George Washington, all the way up until now. It's been one plan and one thought that operates as left brain, right brain thinking, as left wing and left right thinking. And whoever is the president operates as the pineal gland or the Osiris of it all. You know what I'm saying? And so they took this template and they did the tortoise and the hare. They became the tortoise to run alongside of our generations from our great-great-great-grandparents and implement policy and then Willie Lynch us into shape. So therefore we won't test the elephant with the stake in the ground theory. You know what I'm saying? You take the elephant out of its habitat, a baby elephant, you tie it to a stake in the ground, it tugs on it, it can't pull. As it grows older and they feed it peanuts and put a tutu on it and make it stand on a ball, you know what I'm saying? This gigantic, enormous energy has now become subservient to psychological sabotage or learned behavior, because now that it has grown powerful enough to pull the stake out the ground, the will has been broken. The spirit has been broken. You know what I'm saying? So they implemented these policies a long time ago and made great-great-grandma, great-great-grandfather submit to it. So now it's on autopilot. It's on autopilot. Nobody's contesting it except us, the ones that are like us who survive through, you know what I'm saying, the conceptions and are able to bring thought into a situation like a pandemic and say, yo, don't go that way. Consider this. At least consider it. Some of them not even hearing the yell or the beckoning to just consider. Sit down and just consider. They too busy. They don't have time to, they fall asleep. They don't go to sleep. They go to bed tired. They fall asleep. They can't manifest anything out of the spirit world in the dream state because their mind won't allow them to. You know what I'm saying? This is serious. This corona is about 2020 alignment. It's about finding and identifying the epidemic of what it truly is. The virus is in the iris. It's in our thinking. They invade it with news. They invade it with their religion. They invade it with their plans, their 401k plan. You know what I'm saying? Their vaccine and the need on why you should take it, and put fear in their pineal gland, in their corona. Invading that with paying attention to what they're doing. We were on the brink of manifesting our reality as a whole. We can get back to that just by having these conversations, yo.